catches up with the magnetic north. That's the pole shift we're concerned about. There was a news item about 10 years ago. I think that the Tampa, Florida airport was repainting the numbers on the runways because magnetic north had moved far enough that they needed to do that. These numbers on the end of the runways indicate the magnetic compass heading. That's what those numbers mean.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for about 3,600 years, and there's some disagreement about how long this cycle is, but 3,600 years is a fine number for a number of reasons. So for 3,600 years, it may be 4,200, maybe 5,000, but for a period of time, magnetic north moves away from true north. And for this period of time, it's been moving towards Siberia. What we're concerned about is the 72 hours. It could be 12 hours or 24 or 72 hours that magnetic north and true north once again come together. That will be the pole shift. That's what's going to disrupt that bulge of water at the equator. We will get a new equator, we will get new ocean levels, and it will be holy hell.
Now, would this be initiated then by the gravitational pull of Planet X approaching Earth?
As far as we know, yes, sir. That would be the reason, right?
Or could it also be set off by large rocks from space impacting with Earth's crust?
I doubt it. The rocks if they were that large, they'd probably destroy the planet. This is a really big rock we live on.
And so then the elliptical orbital period of this Planet X, is this what coincides with 3,600 years, perhaps?
Yeah, it does, and there's some mainstream archaeological evidence and biblical evidence as well. Moses' passage out of Egypt was most likely a Planet X event. The time before that would have been the Great Flood, and the time before that we're pretty sure happened. And here's the evidence that we've got. If you use mainstream archaeology to look at when civilizations have begun and when they've ended, you'll find that you go back 3,600 years from current date, you'll find 4 or 5 civilizations ended, 4 or 5 began. You go back 7,200 years, you find the same thing. 4 or 5 civilizations ended, 4 or 5 civilizations began. And we're not talking about overnight. These are things that take years to happen, of course. And one of the more interesting things that I find fascinating, once you get to about 12,000 years ago, you find that our ancestors, not aliens, and a lot of this alien stuff is to break down and keep in place, I should say, Darwinian evolutionary theory. What we're supposed to believe, what we learn in public schools, Mike, is that our ancestors 6,000 years ago had grunts and groans, no mathematical ability, no written language. When in fact, and I can give a very clear demonstration of this, your local supermarket, Mike, probably has loaves of bread made from spelt grain. That's S-P-E-L-T, correct?
That's right. That's right. An ancient grain, as it's called.
Exactly. Now we didn't know because we did not have the scientific ability to know until about 40 years ago that spelt grain is a genetically modified organism. And we also know, because we've recovered grain that was covered up 6,000 years ago, that the spelt grain that we're consuming right now is exactly the same genetically modified grain that was being grown 6,000 years ago. And a bonus, it's very radiation resistant.
Wow. Okay. So wait a minute. This rewrites the history of at least conventional agriculture.
It gets better, Mike.
Okay.
A friend of mine, I was on the board of directors of a local senior center. He retired petroleum engineer. I said to him, "Hey, have you ever been to that place called Kashmir where the really nice wool comes from?" He says, "Oh yeah, John. My wife and I went there on vacation. Kashmir, disputed territory between India and Pakistan." I said, "Are you aware that nuclear devices were set off 12,000 years ago in Kashmir?" He says, "Oh yeah, John. The local souvenir shops sell souvenirs commemorating the nuclear devices set off 12,000 years ago."
Really?
That's how common this knowledge is.
Wow. Okay. All right. So,
and this all plays into Planet X, because every 3,600 years, we raise up from wherever we were in civilization to a higher level, only to be smacked back down to the mud. Now, our ancestors, not aliens, Mike, our ancestors had the ability to split the atom 12,000 years ago. And there's other evidence around the world, such as the Sinai Peninsula. There's a location in the Sinai Peninsula where there's hundreds of acres of green glass covering the desert. Now, scientists were scratching their heads up until August 1945. How in the world can you get the heat of the sun at the surface of the planet? We found out twice in August 1945 how that can happen, didn't we, Mike?
Yes, exactly.
And there is only one way. That's nuclear devices.
Trinity. There we go.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. Fusion. Lots of heat. But then, okay, the government is aware that the time of the return of Planet X is imminent. Is that what? Is that the information that you're?
Let's look at some of the practical logistical things. Say you've got a company, Mike, with 5,000 men that work for you. They have 5,000 offices, cubicles with computers and telephones. They got 5,000 homes with wives and children. And you decide you're going to move them 1,000 miles away. What does that mean? You have to duplicate, before you move these 5,000 men and women, you have to duplicate everything you've got at your home base before you move to the new home base. A new building, all new workspaces, offices, cubicles, computers, telephones. You have to make arrangements for 5,000 men and women to sell their homes and buy new homes. Are you going to do that unless you have no choice?